Some franchises never truly disappear. They wait. They linger in collective memory, carried forward by generations who grew up believing in heroes built like gods and villains born from pure malice. Masters of the Universe is one of those properties, and with the release of its first full trailer, it's clear this new live-action adaptation is aiming to do more than just relive nostalgia. It wants to redefine it. Before we begin, would you please support me? Subscribing is free and very important to me. Please subscribe for better analysis and more videos. From the very first seconds, the trailer makes its intentions clear. This is not a simple retelling. This is a reintroduction, a story that understands the weight of its legacy while still daring to reshape it for a modern audience. Directed by Travis Knight, whose live-action debut Bumblebee proved he understands character-driven spectacle, Masters of the Universe places Nicholas Garlitzine at the center as Prince Adam. And right away, the film establishes a major narrative shift. In this version of the story, Adam isn't raised on Eternia. He's sent to Earth to hide from Skeletor's growing darkness. That single decision changes everything. The trailer shows Adam living a quiet, ordinary life on Earth, unaware of his true destiny. His iconic power sword is also hidden away, separated from him, and its rediscovery becomes the first step toward awakening something long suppressed. One of the trailer's most striking images shows the sword being found inside what looks like a comic book or tabletop game shop, a subtle but deliberate nod to fandom, mythology, and forgotten legends waiting to be rediscovered. Once Adam reconnects with the sword, the story pivots. Eternia calls him home. The trailer confirms that Adam doesn't return alone. He's joined by Teela, played by Camila Mendes, and Man-at-Arms, portrayed by Idris Elba. Together, they form the backbone of a heroic resistance against Skeletor's forces. And when Adam finally embraces his destiny, the transformation into He-Man feels earned rather than instantaneous. Galitzine's physical presence as He-Man is impossible to ignore. The trailer leans heavily into the visual contrast between the uncertain Prince Adam and the fully realized warrior He-Man. It's not just a power-up, it's an identity shift, a moment where doubt is replaced by purpose. And waiting on the other side of that transformation is Skeletor. Jared Leto's take on the iconic villain is revealed sparingly, but effectively. Skeletor isn't overexposed in the trailer, and that restraint works in the film's favor. His presence feels looming rather than theatrical. This is not a cartoon villain stepping into live action. This is a force that has already reshaped the fate of Eternia before the story even begins. The trailer confirms what fans have waited decades to see again on the big screen. He-Man and Skeletor will face each other directly. The clash isn't just physical, it's ideological. Order versus domination. Destiny versus control. Visually, the film blends fantasy and science fiction in a way that feels true to the franchise's roots. Eternia looks expansive, otherworldly, and dangerous. Technology and magic coexist without explanation, which is exactly how Masters of the Universe has always operated. The world doesn't justify itself, it dares you to accept it. This new adaptation arrives in a landscape already crowded with Masters of the Universe content. Netflix has explored the franchise through animated series, including a continuation aimed at adult audiences and a CGI reimagining of the original show, but this film feels positioned differently. It's not competing with animation, it's reclaiming the theatrical space. It's also only the second live-action adaptation of the franchise, following the 1987 film starring Dolph Lundgren. That movie was critically panned upon release, but time has been kind to it. It gained a cult following, largely because it embraced the weirdness of its source material without apology. This new film appears to be walking a more careful line. The screenplay comes from a creative team that understands both character and spectacle. Chris Butler, known for Kubo and The Two Strings, brings emotional grounding. Dave Callahan, who worked on Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, understands mythic scale. And Aaron and Adam Nay, coming off The Lost City, bring experience balancing adventure with humor. That combination suggests a film that wants to honor the past while still speaking to the present. One of the biggest questions surrounding the film is whether fans will embrace the Earth-first storyline. Adam starting on Earth is a significant departure from most versions of the myth, but the trailer frames this choice as a way to strengthen the transformation rather than dilute it. By starting Adam in a powerless state, the film gives his rise to He-Man more narrative weight, and that weight matters. Masters of the Universe isn't just about muscles and swords. It's about responsibility, about stepping into a role you didn't ask for but can't ignore. The trailer leans into that theme, showing Adam struggling with who he is before finally accepting who he must become. The timing of the release is also strategic. Slated for June 5, 2026, the film arrives during the peak of the summer blockbuster season. That's a bold move, but it suggests confidence. Amazon MGM Studios isn't treating this as a niche reboot. They're positioning it as a major event film. Whether it succeeds will depend on balance. Nostalgia versus reinvention. Spectacle versus story. Fan service versus accessibility. The trailer suggests the filmmakers are aware of those pressures and are attempting to navigate them rather than ignore them. For longtime fans, there's comfort in seeing familiar faces, weapons, and worlds brought to life again. For new audiences, there's a clear entry point through Adam's journey. That dual focus might be the film's greatest strength. Masters of the Universe doesn't promise perfection. It promises ambition, and sometimes that's exactly what a legacy franchise needs. We finally have a date, June 5th, 2026. Eternia returns to theaters. And this time, it's not just about power, it's about becoming worthy of it. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts in the comments. This is where these kinds of films come to life. Until the next story, stay curious, be critical, keep your eyes on the screen, and remember, every film you haven't seen is a new film.